Coach, you've always said that the NCAA tournament is largely about matchups. I'm sure you're already digging out all the video on Maryland, but what about officiating? You're likely to get crews or people that haven't seen you before. Is that an important factor? I know you can't control it, but do you look at how those officials might call the game?
I don't know who we would have that we haven't seen. Our league has brought guys in from the West here in the last couple of years, and those would be the only people that that certainly I haven't seen.
Kevin, do you have follow-up?
Not at the moment. Thanks.
Progress.
Please use the raised hands feature, members of the media, and we'll get your questions in. Gold and Blue News.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, you guys played in Legacy Arena last year when you guys took on UAB. Does that help having that little bit of familiarity with the arena that you all will play in against Maryland?
I wouldn't think so. I mean, we're gonna practice there, and so are they before the game. So I wouldn't think so.
Okay, we're going to try John Antonic one more time.
Yeah, I had trouble with my laptop there. Kevin Willard, you guys faced him, I think, twice when you were in the Big East. I think back in 12. What's his style? What are you going to see from him?
John, I'll be honest, I haven't watched him very much. I haven't hardly watched him at all. I had too many other things,
Right.
too many other people to watch. I'll have a much better idea here in a day or two.
Yeah, but just back to his days at Seton Hall, usually guard-oriented type of style, like to shoot threes, that type of thing, from what you remember.
From what I remember, they had one guard who shot it a lot.
Yeah.
But their bigs were good. I think that's Herb Pope played then. One of the better rebounders in the league. I remember the one guy they had couldn't really shoot it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our next question goes to Justin Jackson.
Hey, Coach, if you could, just give us a general reaction to getting back into the tournament after, what's been a up and down, good parts, bad parts in the regular season, to have this journey, go to the NCAA tournament now. What's that mean to you? And, what was the reaction of the players when they saw it?
I mean, I think obviously they're excited to play. I mean, they weren't jumping up and down, but they were excited to play. I never had any doubt that we wouldn't play in the tournament. I thought we were getting better and better, and because I'm just wondering if did they return any of those lottery tickets? That's what I was wondering.
Probably not. What was it? I mean, because going back to probably January or maybe later than that, you said that this was going to be an NCAA tournament team. What was it back then that, made you, think that?
So we had Baylor beaten. We missed 3 free throws. We had Oklahoma beaten. We missed 2 free throws. All we needed was to make one, either game or both games, and we would have won. And so we missed free throws. And I think we were close enough, I think, every game to feel like we could or should have won. And you look back at some of the games we lost, the Oklahoma State game, obviously, we should have won that one.
And then kind of going off that, do you think this team potentially had the potential to be a higher seed? And what do you think of the 9 seed?
I'm good with it. I mean, obviously we wanted to win more games. But I think, you know, we just had some things happen. We missed some free throws early on. Like I said, we had some other games, Oklahoma State game, make four field goals at the end of the game, and then do a stupid thing at the end of the game. K-State game, we're up, I don't know, was 16 or something like that, 16 or 18 or something like that at halftime. The Texas Tech game, we rolled the ball out of bounds for some reason.
Right.
I think if you look back, I mean, certainly we are a team capable of winning another 5 or 6 games. And if we do that and take care of that business, or even if we just do half of them, look where we are.
Right.
Coach, our next question comes from Bob Hertzel.
Yeah, Bob, you've been to the Final Four a couple times. What's it take to have success in the tournament and to string wins together? I mean, you have so many different things in the regular season going on.
Well, I think at that time of the year, I think your guys understand that it's one and done, which I think they're more attentive. They play harder than so forth and so on. I think at that time of the year, that's something that they look forward to. I mean, we've got a lot of guys that have played a lot of ball that have never played in an NCAA tournament. Eric, because of the COVID year, was a guy who has never played in an NCAA tournament. When you think about how long he's played, how many games that he's played, and not be able to play in the NCAA tournament. And I think that was, to a large degree, the charge that had these guys so excited about playing at the end of the year.
The last time you faced Maryland, you were Press Virginia then, back in 2015, I guess it was. How different is this team that you have now than that team then, and what do you expect out of this team?
Well, as I recall, Bob, they struggled with our pressure.
They did.
I think we're more, we probably shoot the ball better now than what that team did. This is probably a better shooting team. It can't have the ability to have that kind of pressure. But I think this team has gotten better and better defensively as the season's gone on. Probably much like that the other team did. I think Press Virginia was hard for everybody. Except generally, sometimes the guys that were the other people on the floor.
Can't imagine who you mean.
We'll go back to Kevin Kinder.
Coach, after your game against Kansas, both you and several of your players said that they just didn't have any energy, any zip. Was that due to fatigue, do you think? And is the fact that this game on Thursday a small hit rather than being able to play on Friday and getting an extra day of rest?
No, I think we'll be fine. I think we'll be fine on Thursday. You're talking about playing the night before. And when we played one of the later games the night before and then turn around and play the next day, and we didn't have any energy. Now you could tell that in the locker room before the game. We had no energy. We had just no oomph to us.
We'll go back to Justin Jackson.
Coach, obviously the first round of the NCAA tournament is probably one of the more anticipated events in college sports. And I'm just kind of wondering, I mean, you've obviously kind of been on both sides of this thing. The first round matchup where this is kind of a 50-50 game, as opposed to the higher seed and just trying to avoid the upset. In this situation, is it any different approach wise? When you're going into a game where both teams, are evenly matched, it seems like, as opposed to just trying to avoid a first round upset, being the better team.
As I recall, Justin, my first NCAA tournament was at Akron. We played Michigan, and that was the Fab Five. That was Grant, Chaubert, so forth and so on. The biggest front line in college basketball. And we took them to the buzzer with a team that I had 3 football players. I had a point guard who weighed about 135 pounds, but was very good. But they played, they competed, they wanted to win. I think this team will. I think a lot of people wrote this team off a long time ago, but they didn't. Those people didn't see the transformation in those guys in terms of their wanting to win. They're playing together. They're looking out more for each other. I mean, I thought really came together. It's just the Kansas game in the tournament just had no energy. But that was coming off again, playing a late game and playing the best team in the league with no energy. And even at that, we cut the lead, I think, twice. I think we cut the lead twice to 4 points. We took a bad shot. We took a bad shot after we cut it to 4 the last time, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
John Antonic.
Yeah, Coach, I was listening to Wally Serbiak before the started to announce the brackets, and he said he felt that the Big 12 and the SEC has prepared his teams the best for the NCAA tournament. Is it refreshing to be able to play somebody other than what you faced for the last 2 months?
Pretty good comment for a guy that played in the MAC. I don't know. There's good teams in every league.
Mm-hmm.
Every league doesn't have the star power, the multitude of good teams that others have. And so, you can play in some leagues where, you play a couple good teams, and then the rest of the teams you're probably going to win. And that's obviously not the case in our league and a multitude of other leagues.
One comparative score I see right away, they did beat Purdue at their place. So that's got to be one that's going to catch your attention. A game you're going to probably study, I guess, among many.
Unless the big fella transferred. I don't think there's another team like that one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other questions for Coach Huggins? Please use the raised hand feature. Okay, Coach, I believe that is all for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael.